Let's go to page 186 and start with number 33. So this is the factoring. So you got x to the 4 minus 2x squared y plus y squared. Again, when you're doing the factoring, make sure you go through the checklist, right? So step 1, common factor. Well, there's no y, so you cannot do the y. There's no x, so you cannot do the x. And there's no other number. So step 1 cannot, okay? Then you go to step 2, special factors. Okay, so 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms, right? So 3 terms, you have to check for the perfect square. So this is the perfect square, this is a perfect square. So you want to do this, right? Okay, so again, step 2, 3 terms, you check for the perfect square. Okay, so this is a perfect square, so you can get x squared. And to get a y squared, you need to have a y. And to match the middle term, the sign has to be a negative. Okay, again, so you check, right? So you can use this, you get that, use this, you get that. And you have to check if the middle term match. So the sign is negative, the number, so 2 times this times that give you that, right? So again, so this is good. So that's it. So this is step 2b. Okay, this is the perfect square. Okay. So you can just go through the checklist. Okay, okay, number 35, you have a to the 6 plus b to the 3. Okay. So again, you go through the checklist. Step 1, common factor, cannot. Step 2, 2 terms for difference of square. Difference of square means you have square minus square. So this is not a difference. This is a sum. So that's not it. So you go to step 3, the cube. Okay. Now before you do the cube, if it's not as obvious, this is what you want to do. You want to make it into a squared cube plus b cube. Okay. So that we get a cube. So now this is the sum of the cubes. So to do cubes, what you do is you have to get a set of parentheses, none with that, and a bigger parentheses. Okay. Now the smaller parentheses, you just get rid. You just go and cover up the cube. See that? So get rid of the cube. So this is a single power. So it'd be a squared plus b. Okay. See that? Okay. And then after that, okay, you just go and square that, or just square that. So you're going to get a to the 4. Right? A squared times a to the 4 give you a6, right? Or you just square that, right? So this is 1 power times 2 power give you 3 power, right? And then you need to have a plus b squared, right? B times b squared give you b cubed. But when you're doing the FOIL method, you're going to get a lot of middle terms. So to cancel out the middle term, you have to take opposite of that. So it'd be minus. So if this is a plus, you need to get minus. So minus a squared b. So take the opposite of that, and it will cancel out all the middle term when you distribute. Okay. Again, if you don't believe that, you multiply it out. And after that, after you do the cube, and that's it. Okay, this is not factorable, so don't try to factor that. So if you do the step 1 and step 2, then when you do the step 3, then you're done. Okay, you don't have to worry about that because it's not factorable. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 37. Yeah, 16s to the 4 minus 81. Okay, so you can go through the checklist. Step 1, common factor, cannot. So you go to step 2. Okay, 2 terms, check for difference of square. So this is a square minus square, so that is this one here. Okay, so 2a. Okay, so difference of square, you get 2 sets of parentheses, plus and minus, right? So difference of square get into conjugate. And you just go and break it down into, square root. So to get 16, you need to get 4 and 4, right? 4 times 4 give you 16. To get s4, you need to get s squared, right? And then plus minus give you minus. To get 81, you go 9 and 9, right? Okay. Now you have to double check. Whenever you have a square, you have to keep checking. Okay. So this is already done. So you cannot do anything with this. Okay. So you just drop that. But this one is a difference of square again because it's a square minus square. So you have to do that one more time. Okay. Okay. So again, to get 4, you need to get 2 and 2. 2 times 2 give you 4. To get s squared, you need to have an s and s. Plus times minus give you minus. To get 9, you get 3 and 3. Okay? And once there's no more square, then you're done. If there's a square, you have to keep checking. So again, every problem, if you just go through this checklist, and you will be okay. Okay, number 39, you have x to the 6 minus y to the 6. Okay? Okay, so you can go through this checklist. Okay? So step 1, common factor. You cannot. Step 2, two terms, check for difference of square. So when it's even exponent, it's a square. So yes, this is a difference of square, so that's your special factor. That's your step 2a. Okay? So that's going to factor into conjugate first. Okay? And I'm going to separate this. I'm going to make it farther away. Okay? So easier to line things up. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay? Okay, so to get that, I need to have x to the 3, right? x3 times x3 give you x6. To get minus, I need to get plus, minus, right? Plus times minus give me minus. To y to the 6, I need to y3, right? Now, whenever you're exponent, you have to keep checking, okay? When you have one power, when you have normal exponent, then you're done. But whenever like second power, third power, fourth power, you have to check. Okay, well, this is very obvious, okay? So this one is the sum of the cubes, right? And this is the difference of cubes. So you have to, so this one, you have to use this one here, sum of cube. And this one, you have to use the difference of cubes, okay? Okay, so again, to do the cube, you just have one parentheses and one big parentheses. This one, you line it up and get one big parentheses, okay? So for to do the cube, you just, the one that you line up, you just get rid of the cube. So it'll be just x plus y. And this one, you just go and square that, because this is 1 power, you need to get 2 power, right? So you can either square that or you use these times like to get that, okay? And this one, you need to have plus y squared, right? Y times y squared give you y cubed. But again, when you distribute, you're going to get a lot of middle term, but there's no middle term here. So to get rid of the middle term, you have to take opposite of that. So this is a plus, would be minus xy. Okay? So same thing over here for the difference of cube. You can get rid of that. You get a single power. Okay? And then to this one, you just go on x squared, right? X times x squared give you x cubed. Y times y squared give you y cubed. Okay? And this would be plus, right? Right? Plus times minus times plus give you minus, right? This is always plus on the end, notice. Okay, again, to get rid of middle term, you have to take opposite of that. So it'd be plus xy. Okay, see, it's very similar, right? And that's it. Okay? Again, once you do that, then you're done. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. So again, every point you just go through the checklist, okay, and you will be fine. Okay, number 41, you got u squared minus v squared minus 2u minus 2v. Okay. So for this one, so there are 4 terms. So this one so the 4 terms, so over here, you can go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor, cannot, right? Then step 2, more than 3 terms, you want to try grouping, okay? And so when you're doing the grouping, normally you just leave it the order that it is. Unless it doesn't work, then you can try something else, okay? So let's go and do the grouping, group the first 2. And when you're doing the grouping, it's the middle part is always plus. Okay? Always put a plus between the group. Okay? And then next one, again, this is part of that term. Okay, remember to put plus. Okay? If you don't have plus, it's not correct. Okay, so make sure you have that. Okay, so now let's go and do the factoring. So now basically what you do, you have one complicated problem, you separate into 2 smaller problems. Okay, so let's go and do each one individually. So let's go and just focus on this one. Okay, so again, if you go through the checklist, this is the step 2b, the square minus square, right? Okay, so this one you can factor into u plus v, u minus v, right? Okay. Now let's go and do this one here. So this one, you're going to factor the negative 2. So factor the negative 2, So this becomes u plus v. Okay, you can double check. Right, this times I give you that, this times I give you that. So once you find out the number, then -2 plus -2 is just -2, right? Okay, so now you do each part individually. Now you can bring it together now, okay? So if you notice that you have, the u plus v, you got u plus v, right? So you can go and factor it out. So u plus v, you factor it out. Once you factor it out, then it's gone, right? Okay, once you factor out, it's gone. And the leftover would, the next part would be whatever is left over. So you're going to get u minus v minus 2. Okay, and that is your answer right over here. Okay. Okay, let's go to number 43. Okay, you got p plus q to the 3 minus p minus q to the 3. Okay, so this will get very messy, very complicated, okay? So if you do the cube, notice this is the difference of cube, right? This is the cube minus cube. Okay, again, if you go through the checklist, step 1, step 2, okay? And, well, this is not the two terms. This is not the difference of square because it's a cube. So right away, this is a cube. Okay, and this is a difference of cube. But notice there's a lot of things inside the cube. So when things get complicated, what you want to do is you want to use substitution technique. So what you do is you make this equal to x and make this equal to y. Okay, so this becomes x cubed minus y cubed. Okay, do that first. Then you're going to substitute inside. Okay, and then you do the factoring and you substitute inside. Okay, so you're going to get x minus y. Right? I can get rid of that. And you're going to get x squared plus y squared, right? Again, x times x squared give you x cubed. Y times y squared give you y cubed, right? In the middle, you have to do the opposite, would be plus xy, okay? So now once you've done factoring, now you can substitute back, okay? Okay, so the x is p plus q. Again, remember when you substitute, make sure you put in parentheses because of the negative and subtractions. So y is p minus q. Okay, and the x is p plus q squared plus p plus q. That's x, and the y is p minus q. So that's your x. That's y plus the y squared p minus q squared. Okay, so again, that's your x minus y plus x squared plus xy plus y squared. So now let's go and work everything out. So let's get rid of the parentheses and multiply the square. So this becomes p plus q minus p plus q. Okay, this one when you square, you're going to get p squared plus 2pq plus q squared. Okay, this is a conjugate, so it'll be plus p squared minus q squared. Okay, this one is going to give you p squared minus 2pq plus q squared. Okay, so again, this get rid of parentheses, square it out, multiply out, and this one square it out. So that's going to simplify now. So the p and minus p will cancel out. So this would be just 2q. Okay, and since there's nothing else, there's no addition, subtraction, we can get rid of the parentheses. Now this one gets complicated. So let's focus on the power of p. So we got p squared, any more p squares? No. So it's 3p squared. So this is the p to the 2 power. Next, let's go and do the p to the 1 power. So you got minus 2pq, So it'd be minus, double check. This should be a plus. This is a plus. Yeah, so this should be a plus. And so this plus 2pq minus 2pq will cancel out. Sorry about that. Yeah, so because this is a plus and this is a minus. So be careful with the sign. Okay. So we're done with p to the 2 power, p to the 1 power. Now let's go and do the one with no p. Okay. and so q squared minus q squared cancel out, and so you will just have q squared. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so this makes things a lot easier. So again, when things get very complicated, then use a substitution, and after that you substitute back. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, s to the 3 plus t to the 3 plus s2t plus st2. Okay, so again, let's go to the checklist. Step 1, common factor, cannot. There's no t, there's no s, so there's nothing in common. Step 2, okay, 4 terms. Okay, so again, 2 terms, 3 terms, anything more than 3 terms, you do the grouping. Okay, so let's go and do the grouping. So let's go and group the, again, try not to rearrange. Okay, you rearrange the terms only if it's something that you know exactly what to do, or something that's obvious. Okay, if you're not sure, just leave the same order. So you get s to the 3 plus t to the 3. Okay, and then you put a plus between the groups. Okay, again, this plus is not this plus. Okay, so be careful. Again, when you're doing the grouping, whatever, like this one, if it's a minus, these have to go along with that. Okay, and you always put a plus between the group. Okay, now where did this plus go? Well, actually this plus goes in here. Okay, if you really want to do that, but again, you don't have to write that. Okay, so now let's go and do the factoring. Okay, this is the cube. Okay, so let's go and focus on this cube. So for this cube, okay, 2 parentheses, so you're going to get s plus t, right? Get rid of the cube, and then you need to have a s squared plus t squared, right? So s times s squared give you x cubed, t times t squared give you t cubed, right? Again, to cancel out the middle term, you have to take opposite of that. So this is a plus, you need to get minus st. Okay? So that takes care of that. Now let's go and factor this. This one, you have common factor. You can factor out the s and t. And it's plus, right? So plus st, so times s plus t. Okay? Okay, so again, you have a complicated problem. You divide into 2 smaller, easier problems. Do each part individually. Once you're done with each part, you bring them back. Okay, now if you bring them back, if you notice, there's s plus t, s plus t. So you can factor out the s plus t. So once you factor out the x plus t, this is gone. Okay, and whatever left over is the leftover. So you're going to get s squared minus st plus t squared plus st. Well, in this case, if you notice that you have the minus st here plus st, they will cancel out. Okay, so this becomes s plus t times s squared plus t squared. Okay.